Thank you very much, Svetlana, for calling me to this conference, to this interview. I want to say that I think that everybody understands that Moscow is the biggest city of Russia. And for my opinion, it's like a gate for the whole Russia. If you want to come and if you want to present you in Russia, if you want to make your business in Russia, first of all, you need to come to Moscow. You need to understand how Russia is developing. You need to understand what trends and directions are now going in the Russian market. Moscow, of course, like a capital, has a lot of possibilities, like an administrative and information center of Russia. And some figures for your understanding, it's about 20 million people which are in the city every day. It's about more than 7,000 automobiles which are in the city every day. And I hope to say that you can look that not 7,000, 7 million, of course. And for understanding, it's a lot of part. It's more than 25% of Russian GDP. It's all Moscow. Moscow, it's about 30% of the whole Russian scientific institutes. Moscow, it's also about 80% of the whole Russian financial system. And through Moscow, it's going about 40% of trade operations. So it's a logistics center, it's informational center, it's administrative center, it's financial center, and only small and medium enterprises in Moscow, it's about 1 million companies. We can say that every third citizen are involved in a small and medium business. And small and medium business in Moscow gives, I think, about 20 and now 25% of the whole budget of Moscow. And we can also say that it can be calculated with people which are involved in small and medium business activity. It's about 13% from the whole Russia. It's only one city. And for your understanding, Moscow companies are developing in very different ways. Of course, like the large city with the very huge budget, Moscow make a lot of different supports for Moscow companies. Even now, when it is a very difficult economical situation all over the world, only in Moscow we have about 17 different subsidiaries support for Moscow companies, starting from support for going to export and including the support for closing some payments, saying for gas, community pieces, and or some ways in salaries. Everything is supported by the Moscow government. And what I also want to say, we have now in Moscow about 42 different technoparks. Not all of them are government, are state ones. It's about 4 of them are states and others are private. And all private technoparks are also supported by the Moscow government. Some saying some measures allowed to cut the payments for tax for 25%. So people which are starting the business to organize sometimes special technopark, saying medical technopark or IT technopark, they also are supported by the Moscow government, boosting this business. I also can say that in Moscow we have also special economic zone which is called Technopolis Moscow. It's not only a great technopolis with a lot of supports. It's also a special a free economic zone with all conditions for such free economic zones in the world, saying zero taxes for profit, zero taxes for some payments for land. You can also buy your land for 1% of its price if you will do it with something. So it's very interesting measures for supporting business which were to organize or to develop in Moscow. In Moscow, we're also now developing such a special measure like it's called offset contracts. When you start to localize in Moscow and you will invest about, saying, $15 million organizing some manufacture in Moscow, Moscow government will say, okay, your product is interesting for us, saying pharmaceutical one. Now we have about 4 pharmaceutical contracts in such way. Your product is interesting, and we are ready to sign an agreement with you that we will buy your products for 10 years. It's for all businesses, it's a decision. You know that your products will be sold, and you will never think where to put it. Who will buy it? You will never think about marketing researchers or something else. You can understand what kind of cuts of your waste you have. And now, first of all, pharmaceuticals companies and medical companies come to this market, but not only them. Now some technical companies are also coming for that because they see a perspective of their localization in the Moscow market. Of course, we know that Moscow land is rather expensive. Moscow citizens, Moscow specialists are also rather expensive if we will compare with our regions. But Moscow is the only one city in the whole Europe where people with high education are more than 51%. So if you will organize something which is in a high technology business, you have already specialists in this business. I can say that because very few Swiss companies, you have already said, only 200 companies are in Russian market. But if we say about, say, German companies, it's now we have only about 5,000 German companies which are presenting in our market. In Moscow, they have all of them have their headquarters. Mm-hmm. And nobody goes, despite all crises and some obligations or this very difficult time. Everybody continued, and 50%, more than 50% of these companies said that they will increase their investment in the market. Because through Russia, through Moscow, you have communications with the whole Eurasia market. And of course, we know that Russia, you can look in a map and you will understand it's a large state. It's a great logistic place, a territory. It's one of the important things. And we have only in Moscow, we have now 9 railway stations, centers. We have 4 airports. Now the 5th airport is also constructed. We have 3 river ports. So it's a great hub. You will be a Russian resident, first of all. If you will set up your company in Russia, in Moscow, you can speak about government support. But you will have 1 year, minimum 1 year of living. Because of course, there are some startups saying if you are individual entrepreneurs, you can have some cuts in your taxation in Moscow. So it's called, it's a special taxation program for the companies, for individual entrepreneurs which are operating their business in Moscow. But if you will work, saying 1 year, you can come to saying Moscow government and say, I am organizing a hotel. I want to have some support from Moscow government. The Moscow government, everything is doing online. You put your information to the special channel of Moscow government. They will say to you, okay, Mr. Guillaume, you can get this, and this support. Choose one. what you want. You say, I want this one. Okay, you need to put in online this document, no any paper. You will put it in this document, and in your personal window, you will see how your documents are controlled, where is they, what are maybe some new documents which you need to put. And when you will have a result, saying, Mr. Guillaume, you can get supports in closing your waste in energy. Or you can get a support in if you want to organize and to make some education programs for your people. Because Moscow government closed the ways of the companies for some education programs, special education programs. Oh, Mr. Guillaume, you have a very interesting startup. We can put you in accelerator and we can discuss it in an investment program. You must be a resident of Moscow and you must pay taxation in Moscow. Only these companies can get the support from the Moscow government. And I repeat, it's 17 different only subsidiary support, but where is the consultancy, where is the special support for playing in the e-markets, where is the special support in education, where is the special support in logistics, only even some subsidiary support in certification and patentation. Everything is something which is closed by the Moscow government. Some supports are 100% of your waste in your business. We have only now 2 special medical technoparks. And one is, the third one is, you know, in Skolkovo, we have a special medical zone. But 2, it's technoparks, it's state technoparks, which where medical companies, pharmaceutical companies, also companies which are now working with this pandemic way, localize their business or organize their business. Where the technoparks which are working in IT technology. We have technoparks which are working in a textile technology, in a design technology, and the technologies concerning, robotics, or technoparks which are working with the technologies in chemical industry. So in Moscow, we can say everything which is closed with high technology projects, it's a priority directions of development of economy. It's aviation, of course. It's a transport project, including the projects where you have non-pilot projects, yes? It's space. It's high chemical projects. In the projects, of course, medical equipment, pharmaceutical projects. It's a projects concerning new materials, saying composite materials. It's a projects concerning intellect, one moment, come from my mind, artificial intellectual projects, sorry. Because in this project, in this trend, we have a lot of very interesting companies. And artificial intellect is one of the projects which are involved now, not only in industry, but also, of course, also now with programs which are artificial intellect now is working in a medical, during one pandemic, using this artificial intellect, we are looking who is in which position, the people who are ill, who are now under the looking from the medical institute. Everything is done by artificial intellect now. And of course, transportation project that I have said. We have now a project concerning bread, saying conditionary near all of the house, in your garden, say. It's also the project which are supported by the government. Bakers are one of the things which Moscow Chamber of Commerce and Industry supports, and like a small enterprise. And Moscow government are now preparing a new program supporting these people. If Swiss companies will come to Moscow, we will get all partners which can communicate, because Swiss, especially we can say about biotechnology, is for us very interesting place. Not only finance, but also for different technologies which are developing in Swiss in different trends. Saying we will do not long. Saying we can speak about crypto currency which is going on your market, but still we have some obligations in our market. We have some conditions which are developing only now. But it's a very interesting trend, and we are involved in this discussion. So if Swiss will show your skill, your new methodologies, or how it is working in your state, I think it will be very interesting for us. And I'm sure we can discuss about smart cities, we can discuss about new technologies in medicine and somewhere else, not only new technologies, but new methodological steps also. And I'm sure that we can do it not only like discussion, but we can do it. Our chamber is a non-government, non-profit organization. And of course, we are working with partners who are coming to the market. We do for them different services, starting from the visa support if you are coming here, and ending with consultancy for different ways. Now, saying you can see now in a screen, Marina Yevteeva, it's the deputy of our department who is responsible for compliance, research, and in our chamber. And all services concerning compliance and looking how our companies are under this compliance procedures is going from Marina, and he looked the companies and understand the company is reliable or not for working with foreign partners. We have the services which are going in the marketing researches. Sometimes we do it by ourselves. Sometimes if we have some specialization, we look a special company through our members who knows the market well. And they say, okay, this is a work for you. You can earn money for that. You can, but you are under the support and under the not only support, also under the control of Moscow Chamber, because it's our logo, it's our label, it's our name, and you will do it in a correct way, which is a very high quality for the company. So different services. We have special platform, we have special service concerning preparing the documents for all Russian controlling organizations, for tax organization, for customers, for everybody. We have a special block of this consultancy, and even to help you not to be under some mistakes in this way, because sometimes you don't know anything. You don't want to be illegal, but you do some mistakes. And we have a support, and you get it. And some part of the support is without any payment. You can look in our special site with all the documents. And if you need some special service, yes, it's under the payment, but it's commercial service. But if you are understanding it, you have all information from our site, you can work it by yourself.